Sharon, tell me a little bit about how you first became connected to Acorns.
I started working for Acorns in October 2014. I've been very unhappy in my previous job in a school, and I actively searched out a hospice to work in. There was a part-time job advertised at Acorns, which I couldn't really afford to do, but I thought, well, I'll apply for the job anyway, get a foot in the door, and I was successful and I got that job. So I started in October 2014, and within 4 weeks I was actually working full-time because there was staff shortages in admin. And then after a few months the admin lead's job became vacant, which I applied for, and I was successful in getting.
And so you were at Acorns for how many years was it?
3 years I worked at Acorns, and then I've been volunteering for the last year.
And what sort of things have you been doing volunteering-wise?
I've been helping in the swimming pool with the ladies only swim, with family splashes, and with children that are in-house having their swimming. I'm helping out in the Fate today. I've been doing some other volunteering as well for other organisations in the meantime.
And did you have any connection to children's hospices before you got a job at Acorns?
No, I didn't have any connections whatsoever, but I was working in a special school, and I felt that that gave me kind of background experience, and I was used to dealing with children and families that were sometimes often in difficult circumstances, and so I knew in my heart that it was the kind of place I could work in a hospice.
And were your perceptions of what you thought a hospice might be, were they challenged when you started working at Acorns, or were you surprised at what it was like at Acorns compared to what you thought it might be?
I think it was probably broadly similar to what I expected, but what I didn't expect was the reaction of other people when I told them I worked in a children's hospice. Some people were quite shocked to say, how can you work in a place like that? It must be so sad, and I couldn't work there, and oh, I'd be crying every day. And I used to say to people, well, actually, it's really a happy place to work, and it's very much about the children being alive and enjoying every minute, and we're all part of that. And they do some fantastic things, Christmas and other in the summer holidays and stuff, and I think only one person ever said to me when I said I worked at Acorns Children's Hospice, only one person ever said to me, that's fantastic. Everybody else was very much, oh, I don't know, you can work there, very sort of down, which is silly really, because if they bothered to think about it, they would realise that it is bound to be a happy place, because there's no other option really.
And over the 3 years working at Acorns and then subsequently volunteering, are there any particular memories or highlights or anything that really sticks in the mind? Any particular days that you remember quite clearly?
I think when I first started, there was, after a couple of weeks, a 15-year-old girl in a special bedroom, and at the time my eldest son was 15 years old, and that was the first time I'd kind of encountered the death of a child the same age as my child, and that did play on my mind a bit, and I was thinking, what would I do if I was in that situation? Where would I go? Who would help me? And I realised quite quickly from working at Acorns that actually this is a place where families, siblings, grandparents, everybody can get help, can get support if they want it. And I've always thought when your child dies that perhaps you're very much alone dealing with it, but if you're not fortunate enough, that's not the right word, but if you're involved with Acorns because of your child being poorly, then at least there is a support network around you and around your wider family. And I think as somebody that fortunately has not had to go through that, you don't realise. Another thing, you know, lots of children come and go, and you don't get used to it, but you kind of accept it. But there was one little baby that particularly got to me because I think we'd had a bit of a relationship with her. She'd been in and out for a while, and when she passed away I found that very difficult, because you get attached to some families more than you do others, but that's just the way it is.
And this is obviously Acorns' 30th anniversary, and we've been asking people if they've got any particular memories from the past 30 years, or just fond childhood memories that they might have growing up, any particular TV programmes or music that people might have listened to. Is there anything that comes to mind, Sharon?
Well, obviously I am older than 30 years, and I didn't grow up in the West Midlands, I grew up in East London. I used to love 70s music, I still do. I think when I was at school, things were very different. There was sort of, you didn't know about special schools and things like that, and so it was all shut away. Whereas now, through working in special schools, it's much more transparent, if that's the right word. But yeah, I mean, we were lucky when I grew up in a large family, a very large family of cousins and aunties and uncles. It was all, everybody was reasonably healthy, and we never had any long-term family illnesses or anything like that, so we didn't have to deal with some of the things that some people that come to Acorns have to deal with. So I think I was very fortunate in that respect, and I'm the eldest of 5, and we all just managed.
Sharon, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.